Welcome back. My name is Thomas Nuara. Today I will cover part 2 of effective evidence. In this presentation, I'm going to go over logos, which is the use of logic to persuade an audience and stands in direct opposition to common sense. In order to use logos, we must use verifiable facts and statistics. When you are doing research, you want to gather current statistical data, some percentages, some sort of numeric information, facts, definitions, and expert opinions. If you remember from the works cited PowerPoint presentation that we used, we talked about using current information. You want to look for the best possible sources and best possible information that you can gather and deliver in your presentation. The appeals to logic, you must believe the information you are using. When you gather this and you're delivering it, you've got to sell it like you believe what you're delivering. Even if for some reason you don't believe the information or the material that you're delivering, your audience better believe that you do. Let's now talk about the delivery of this information. You have to remember your delivery is important. How you deliver your information is almost as important and sometimes even more important than the information that you gather. You want to make sure that your information is not dry and boring. Think about if somebody was to just talk to you in this bland, boring, blah, blah, blah manner. The likelihood of you listening and staying focused is much lower than someone who's high energy and putting the enthusiasm into the way that they speak. Don't apologize for presenting concise data. Remember, we put the time and effort into the research to go along with your presentation. You've got to deliver it and sell it. Don't apologize. You've got to make it interesting by connecting that information with the needs of the audience. You've already established what they want and why they're there. We talked about that in a few earlier presentations. You have to now become the most interesting person in the room. You are the focus. You are the star of the show. Continue to hold your audience's attention. Avoid jargon and over-technical terminology. Using big fancy words that not everyone in the audience may know or understand will cause your audience to lose focus and attention. If you're going to use fancy words, please make sure that you explain what those words mean. And finally, your presentation media needs to make an impact. Your slides want to be kept short, concise, bullet point. If you take a look at this one here, it's right to the point for everything. Don't make them long and drawn out when you're using words on your screen. Don't fill it with quotations. Your images need to be impactful. If we're talking about persuasion, you want shocking images. You want something that's going to leave an imprint on your audience's mind now and when they are done watching and hearing your presentation. Let's look at deduction. This is when we apply general rules to specific instances. This is called deductive logic. Here's an example. Premise 1, bachelors are unmarried men. Premise 2, Bill is unmarried. Therefore, our conclusion should be that Bill is a bachelor. We're using deduction to figure out what the conclusion is. Finally, let's talk about induction. When we come to a general rule of understanding based on a collection of specific instances, we are using what is called inductive logic. And here is an example of that. Premise 1, 95% of the sales force met their goals last quarter. Premise 2, Kevin is on the sales force. So finally, our conclusion, Kevin most likely met his sales goals last quarter. We are not saying that Kevin did meet his sales goals. However, using the statistical data of 95% of the sales force met their goals, we can assume that there's a very good chance, 95%, that Kevin met his goals. I hope this information on logic has helped you. If it has, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button down below, and don't forget to like and share the videos. You never know who out there could use the advice.